Yeah, welcome to another episode of Mrs. Z and Fifth with your host, Zacchaeus and the Fifth General. Zacchaeus, what's good, man?
Yo, it's good to be here. Real good to be here. Oh, yes.
Oh, my God.
Definitely, man.
I want to shout outs to everybody who've been patient with the show. I had to move and been a couple weeks without the show. A lot of stuff going on, but that situation is rectified. I'm still in Houston, but I had to go from an apartment to a house. So, you know.
Congratulations again, man.
Thank you.
That's
thank
a big,
you.
yeah,
Thank
for
you.
real, yeah.
Thank you. So I just want
again, yeah, for real.
So I just want to give a shout out to all the listeners, whoever you may be, whether you're far and in between. We thank y'all for being patient due to circumstances that were beyond my control. Not that they were bad, but just things that I had to attend to that was important. But we back to regular scheduled programming. All right. So today we're gonna get back into a dating topic. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. Let me make sure my mic is right. Okay. We're gonna talk about dating from a man's perspective. Dating women with kids. You know, a man who doesn't have his kids. We'll address that.
Yeah.
A man who already has kids. Okay. So we'll address those 2 points. And then we'll talk about the differences between dating a single father with kids, who has custody of his kids. You know what I'm saying? We'll address that. And women who typically always have the kids all the time because the court systems always give the kids to the mother. That's just how it is.
Always. Yeah.
Unless she's straight up lunatic. You know what I'm saying? But most of the time we all know that the kids go to the mother. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway. So we're going to talk about the dating struggles with that. What do men consider or want? We don't have a woman on the show, so I don't have a female's perspective per se. But I'm gonna give more than a man's point of view about that. That conversation. Listen, that's something that's always been talked about for years, because that is something that people are dealing with in the dating world for years. Like you said, Zach. Like you said, Zach. In the dating world, most women, not all, that most women. Well, let's just say some women. It's a large number, but I'll just say some women. Already have at least 1 or 2 kids before they're 35. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So that's what's typically I've run into in the dating game. Have I run into women who are let me preface this. I'm 34 because people are gonna be like, "Well, how old are you, Fifth?" I'm 34. Have I run into women who are my age or older without kids? Yeah, I have. So there's still women out there who are my age and older who don't have kids. But I'm saying in my life, I've mostly encountered, when it comes to trying to spit game to a woman. I mean, at my age, the women usually have kids. So then you tend to go younger. To see if they don't have kids yet, but I don't know. The choices are kind of flipped around. But I'm going to give some hope here, because I know there's some men out there that are my age that feel like, man, I can't even have this mentality that a woman's not going to have a child. Some men have literally thrown in the towel in their search of finding a woman who's unmarried with no kids. They don't think they're going to find it. So they just think they have to live with the idea that every woman they holler at that's in their young 30s is gonna have a child, and it's just not true.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the reality of it. When you really look at the spectrum of things.
Yeah.
You see, when a woman hit the ages of let me see, 25, the age of 25 up to like
Yeah.
38. Between that age bracket, they usually have children. They either married or have kids.
Yeah.
Or some of them, and a lot of sisters are single. A lot of them are single, and maybe you have a child or two, or just have a child, but they're single with a child. You know, so the age group of 34 is like women. It's very rare you can find a sister, or very rare you can find like some women that's that age without a child. You know,
exactly.
So it's tough in between.
Exactly,
it's tough. Because you see the
No, go ahead, and then we're gonna get to a new subject real quick. But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so it's real tough, you know. So I just wanna comment on that real quick, and then we get back. Yeah, so we can jump into something else. Yeah.
All right. So
right now, but yeah.
What our news topic? Tragic story, man. But yeah, we can't let this slide as a community of people, not just the black community, but just child humanity rights. If you're about child's safety, then of all races, you should hate this story. All right, this is according to Fox2Detroit.com. A Ypsilanti Township, I don't know how you even say that word, Ypsilanti Township boy shot in arm while getting bike. Suspect released on bond. That's the title. Now, this was published 6 days ago, updated 4 days ago. Now, what's today's date? As we're recording this, this is June 14th. June 14th, right? And by the time we air this episode, we usually submit the episodes. The episodes go up for streaming Fridays, right? So anyway, a boy from Ypsilanti Township. I really don't know how to say it. I'm butchering it badly, probably, but it's in Michigan.
Okay.
Is recovering after being threatened with a sledgehammer and then shot as he retrieved his bike from his neighbor's front yard. Arnold Daniel says his kids were outside on their bikes on Candlewood Lane in Ypsilanti Township when they stopped their bikes and left one of them in the front of the neighbor's home. When Cody went back to get his bike, Daniel said the neighbor came out with a sledgehammer in his hand and said something to the boy. Daniel said he didn't know exactly what was said, but knows his son said something back. After that, the neighbor went back inside, and Daniel said he shot a gun through the front window, hitting boy in the arm.
Jeez.
Now, quoted, I got, hold on. We're gonna get this out, I promise. Quoted, he tried hitting me with the sledgehammer, but that's not going to work because I'm too fast. Then he got a gun and boom, shot me right here. Cody said, that's the little boy. The bullet went through the boy's arm and he was rushed to the hospital. Daniel said that the doctor told him that he had the bullet been an inch or either direction, it likely would have killed Cody. The young boy is home from the hospital and expected to be okay. According to Daniel, they've had issues with the neighbor in the past, including one time where he saw the neighbor trying to throw one of his child's bikes away. The Washtenaw County sheriff arrested the neighbor, who was identified as Ryan Lee Nguyen. He was charged with assault with intent to murder, but 3 days later, he was released on a $10,000 bond. Daniel is angry and confused. I'm quoted, I'm trying to figure out how he got a bond so low for trying to kill my kid. Quote, Daniel said. All right, I'm going to stop reading.
Yeah.
Because this article is going to go on, and I think people got the point. And people are already familiar with the story because it's going viral a little bit, to some degree.
Yeah, to some degree, because some news platform not really mentioning
No, they're not. Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know why. Zacchaeus, please give me your take on this, man.
You got listen. When it comes to, I'ma say it, and I'ma say it out
say
loud.
Yeah, say it.
When it comes to
tell the truth and
life,
shame the devil.
When it comes to black life in this U.S. and in certain places, we're not valued we're not valued. We're not valued because if that was a little white boy, that man would not get out on a bail so low like that, set so low like that. That man wouldn't get out. Not shooting a kid. A little white. If that was a little white boy, he wouldn't have got out. So I'm just gonna say it. He wouldn't have got out. So with a low bond like that, $10,000 bond. Come on, that's like that boy's life could have been taken. What if that boy's life was taken? It's a miracle. It's a miracle that boy is able to live. It's a miracle. God spared his life.
Sure did.
God spared his life. But I'm telling you, but that's going to tell you that we black people got to wake up. Our lives are not as valued as you think it is. Because that's why the man scratched his head. It's like, wait a minute. That's why the man scratched his head. He wait a minute, said, wait a minute. Why is this man getting released from prison with just a low bond?
Yeah.
10,000. Yeah. You know, me and you, Fifth, we already know why. We already know the answer to that already.
Well, let me tell you something. If this would have been me shooting a boy, and let's just keep it real. If me and you would have did this to a boy who's, forget 6 years old, I'll take it to a teenager, 15.
Yeah.
Let's just keep it real. If it would have been me and you shooting a 15-year-old boy,
yeah, of
another color spectrum, and they would have let me or you get off with a $10,000 bond. Forget $10,000, $100,000. Say the bond, because it wouldn't be, bonds ain't that low for black people.
Yeah, exactly.
$500,000 bond, right?
Yeah.
Shooting a 15-year-old kid of a different color spectrum. Notice how I keep saying that.
Yes.
If they would have let me, if I would have got bond and I would have went home, a mob of people of that color spectrum would have went in my home and dragged me out with rope. Hello?
Hello?
Am I telling the truth?
Speak fast.
Thank you. They would have carried me out with rope.
Fast.
That's what they would have done. I'm not giving any ideas. I'm basing it off of things that have happened in history. Let's bring up the history. Rosewood. Rosewood, Florida. Now, this was a long time ago. But a black man was accused. He was lied on. They discovered that was a lie because the woman confessed that it was a lie later on. They had a mob of the KKK and the local police. Okay? The KKK and the police were the same people. So let's just call them all the KKK because these were Ku Klux Klan police officers. Okay. Read your history. Do your Googles about Rosewood. What happened in Rosewood?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Oh yes.
Yes. Let's explain the story for those who don't know, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out here listening to the show for the first time and don't know the history of Rosewood, Florida, about what happened in Rosewood, Florida. In Rosewood, a black man was accused of raping a white woman. The white woman was in an abusive relationship with her white man. But she couldn't tell on that white man because back then, you know, nobody would believe a white woman if a white man did something to her. And if they did, nothing was done.
Right.
So she goes outside and she screams, and I'll say the words, "He raped me." And they said, "Who?" "A nigga. And well, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they went to every home. They went to every black family's home and church looking for this man and dragged people out.
Yeah.
Killed them, burned them, lynched them, tore down the whole neighborhood, the whole town, just to get a young black man who was lied on. So the point I'm making is that same mob mentality from Rosewood, Florida, and Black Wall Street is the same mentality that exists today on that color spectrum, sir. So the point I'm making is that would be done now.
Yeah.
If they would have let me go, that's what I'm saying. If they would have let me walk, that would have been done now. Go ahead, Zacchaeus.
You see, the thing is that we're living in a time where a lot of us folk think that everything is okay. Everything. We made it. Racism is at a minimum now, so we're able to get certain things. It's true, yeah, it's true. We're able to get certain things, but it's still there because you can see, this man got released on a $10,000 bond. Easy.
I'm laughing not because it's funny, but I'm laughing because people seriously think that racism is dead. Dead to who?
Yeah.
I just want to know. I just want to know who is dead to. That way, I can live your life for a day.
So a lot of us are like a 10,000. You know how we feel about children.
Yeah,
we love children. America loves children. So
yeah, but where are the child activist groups at for this kid?
Yeah.
Where are they?
Child endangerment. This man got out on a $10,000 bond.
I just want to know where they're. I just want to know where they're at. I mean, I'm just saying. This boy is not being cared for at all on a large scale. I mean, he's alive. Thank God. It's by the grace of God that he's alive. It is Jesus who kept that boy alive. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
Only one Lord, one faith, one baptism that kept that boy alive.
Yes. The grace of God, this grace kept that boy alive so he can actually be able to talk.
You know what, man? This is why I tell this is why I tell parents with young kids, don't let these kids play unintended, man, because if it's not just the kid, it's what could harm the kid. Because I tell you something, if that father would have been outside with that boy, that man wouldn't have came out there like that with no freaking sledgehammer. Are you kidding me?
No, exactly. A lot of the times when the kids are playing outside, and especially a lot of the times, we're not watching our kids,
Yeah, shoot my son and see what's gonna happen. I don't have a kid, but I'm just making a point.
Shoot,
it'd be the last.
Yeah, man.
I only want to say it. I only want to say it.
I teach my kids early. That you got to be mindful and careful where you go. Not every place you go, every friend you meet, and not every place you go is friendly to you.
No.
I watch them and I teach them that.
Especially when you're young and black.
When they're young. This is a time to teach them.
Mm-hmm. Teach them early.
Yeah.
And it's not teaching them to be scared. See, people who don't understand this will think, oh, well, you're teaching them fear. No, you're not teaching them fear. You're teaching them to arm themselves, just like the military does. They arm their soldiers with knowledge before a threat comes. This is what the military does with their soldiers. There's the threat, and then they teach you how to defend yourself against that threat. So the threat of the world and society, we know how it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So that has to be acknowledged and taught in a way so that when kids know that, oh, this is what my daddy and my mommy told me about. Okay, well, I this is how I'm gonna respond to this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be armed with that knowledge. That could save your life. That could save a child's life. It saved mine when I was growing up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Teach them.
I thank God for my black mother because of what my black mother seen growing up. And she wasn't naive to what was going on in the world, and she armed me with the knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
Hide you from certain realities. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't hide the kids. You can't hide it. No, you can't from reality.
Hey, kids all over the world saw George Floyd get killed with a knee on his neck by police officers, and other kids were like, "Whoa, how could a police officer ever do that?" And then kids also found out that he wasn't the only police officer that killed someone due to police brutality. And then a whole new world got exposed to children that they were in the dark about when it comes to police violence and racism. For the first time, they was able to see that during the quarantine because families came together and saw that on their TV. So that's an example of what I'm saying about how if they don't learn it from you, then they learn it from society. They're going to learn it somehow.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So
that's the reality of it.
And that's the reality. So we're gonna get into the main topic. Anything else you wanted to say about this story? Because we're gonna keep in tune with that story because it's updating. So go ahead,
all I gotta say is that we're gonna keep a note on this and see see how much people gonna come up for this boy and see what's gonna go on with this, how the story unravel. Because you see, the thing is that but this just also show you the value of black people in this country, the value of what we have, what we possess. You will never hear a $10,000 bond.
No, but you know what? The one thing I won't do, and what I tell other black people to do, is who cares if somebody respects our plight or not. At the end of the day, man, as black folks in America, before I get to the rest of the world, but I'll just say in America, we already know that we don't have any friends and allies in our corner, and everything that we have to do for ourselves. We know that. So we're not caring about if so-and-so from over there says, oh, here we go again. It sounds like black people mumbling and grumbling and complaining. How many times are we going to hear that? They should pull themselves up by their bootstraps. Man, shut the F up forever. Okay?
Yeah.
Wait, I shouldn't have said that. Lord forgive me, even though I didn't cuss, but it's still close. Shut the heck up forever.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
This is still a family show. You know what I'm saying? To that mentality. And I don't care. I just don't. Yeah, we know we don't have any allies. I think Malcolm X taught us that we don't have any friends or allies in America.
Yeah.
We know that. We know that.
You know, Malcolm was before his time, so yeah.
Yeah, I love me some Malcolm X, man. You know, but that's a topic. That's a topic for another show. Well, man before his time, because he said something that was true before he was born, and then still true after he'd been killed. Okay, so he was spot on. You know what I'm saying? And we see it all the time. And then some people will say, "Oh, well, you know, they had people out there. They had people out there protesting, saying Black Lives Matter and everything." You could say Black Lives Matter till the cows come home. There hasn't been any legislation. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's been legislation for other groups. Hello. But anyway,
hello. Yeah.
Let's move on to the main topic, and we're going to spend the rest of the show talking about this. Yo, dating a woman with kids. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to speak the truth here because somebody else is going to relate to this or get help with this. And I know stories. I'm going to save some people's identities. I'm not going to say any names to snitch on people. I'm not. but I'm gonna have to kind of tell a story. Okay, take some names out. For dramatic purposes, there may be things that may sound embellished, but they're the truth. And they're examples of things that I have encountered myself and others have encountered close to me. Now, Zacchaeus, let me preface this. You are a married man with children.
Yeah.
Okay? Right. You wasn't always a married man.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you know about women out there, who've already had their kids, whether it had been just from whether it be from an encounter or from a marriage, if you know what I mean by encounter. Okay, and the child's father and the mother are not together anymore, and we all know that kids typically go to the mother; they don't go to the father. But we'll address when kids go to the father. So, in your opinion, man, do single men who don't have any children treat women who treat single mothers the same way they treat women without kids in the dating world?
It depends, but I would say that men feel more easy with women that don't have no children.
Yeah.
That women that don't have no children, they feel more easy, they feel more relaxed.
Yeah.
Compared to women with children. The only reason why, because you see, the thing is that I have this thing called baby father. Baby father, and baby father's around, and you don't know if the child gonna gel with you, depending on the age of the child. You don't know if the child gonna gel with you. And but older men feel more comfortable dating women with children, because most of the time the children are grown, or most of the time the children are older.
You would hope.
So it's a more, but guys that are like 30, 25, 34, 40, and age 40,
right?
They will see, they most likely their age group was gonna meet women with children,
Yeah.
So it does, and usually the children are small. So it does bring a little uncomfortability, because you're like, well, you have a child. So not only it's a package, when you take a woman with a child, it's like a package deal you're taking. It's like, okay,
absolutely.
Because you're taking her. You're taking her.
Yeah.
And you're taking the child too.
Yeah.
You gotta deal with the child too, and you can't exclude the child out, because the child is, and many times you won't be able to go on date, because she gotta find babysitter. She gotta find babysitter to watch the child, or because you ain't gonna call the baby father. Most of the time the baby father don't want the nanny man around their children anyway.
Yeah.
Most of the time they don't want men around. Most of the time they don't want men around their children. Sometimes that's the case.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So that's why they treat women without children. Men treat women without children a little more comfortable. It's a little bit more comfortable. It's a little more better.
Yeah.
It's more. Sometimes it's better that a woman don't have children. So it's like you're like, okay, I'm at ease, because when she has a child, sometimes you're not at ease, because you're like, okay, now I gotta deal with the child too. I gotta make sure I get along with the child like me, and I gotta realize that, and if this God forbid this baby father don't like, most likely the baby father not gonna like you, and you're there with the child, and it's a whole lot of mess sometimes. But you never know though. You never, I mean. Yeah. Yeah. But that's how it is sometimes, though,
I mean, now, with that being said, because the baby father drama stuff is just some bull crap, man, unless the man is dead. But if he's alive, you got to deal with that fool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah. I'm going to give an example of something that I went through, and I ain't even want the woman, but she just so happened to be an ex of mine. So I had an old ex of mine, long time ago, reach out to me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't think nothing of it. It was peaceful. You know, we ain't got beef. It was peaceful. But, you know, she was like, hey, you know, I was like, hey, you know, how you doing? You know, and her punk behind boyfriend.
Oh, boy.
Gonna threaten me. You know,
wow.
I was checking my girl's phone, and I see that she reached out to you. Yo, I know y'all two got something going on, and
wow,
and you gonna we gonna see each other, and this, that, and the third.
Wow.
First, and, you know, my reaction was, first of all, who you talking to? Secondly, I don't even want your chick. She was my chick a long time ago. I don't want that no more. You know?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how dare you? And I ain't even want the woman. So that's the point I'm making, is the fact that I had that crap happen, and I ain't even want her. And she reached out to me. I ain't holler at her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about right there. You know, to avoid that at all costs. You know what I'm saying? Because he was saying stuff like, yo, that's the mother of my kids and all this other stuff. You know, because some men and some women have that. A lot of men have this over women, but that once mine, always mine thing.
Yeah.
You got men out here getting killed because of this. You got, you know, you see stories all the time. Child's father kills mother's boyfriend and mother. Right?
Yeah.
You always see.
Yeah.
You always see stories like that. You do.
Yeah, and it is easy. Let me tell you something. And some men don't realize it. Most of the stories you hear about men fighting and sometimes you hear about gun violence. In some cases, they're fighting over a woman. They're fighting over a woman.
Yeah, they're fighting.
Or you hear men dying and shooting each other up.
Yeah.
They're fighting. It always start off with a woman.
Yeah,
you know, it always started with a woman, because you see, the thing is that you see when this thing called like baby father, and baby father don't want cheering. They were cheering around that man. Let me tell you something. It really comes to a point where you gotta be careful, men. You gotta be careful when you start dating women with cheering. You gotta be careful because.
But on a hypocrite level, it be those men who don't even be around their own kids. Think about that. Talking about he don't want no man around his kids. You're not even around your kids. Go ahead.
Exactly. You want, so you're not there, but yet you're angry because another man is doing something you're not doing, being around your kids. So you can't get angry at that, partner.
Does a woman who have kids prior to the man they're trying to meet have any leverage in the dating game when it comes to single men with no kids?
Single men with no kids.
Yeah.
I mean,
does she have leverage in the dating pool with men with no kids?
She got some kind of leverage.
Oh,
let me tell you something.
Name it, please. I need to hear this.
She got somewhat kind of, because if he ain't got no kids, he ain't got no kids. Is in a way he has no drama in his life.
Wait, so is it she that has the leverage or he that has the leverage? That's the question.
I think he has the leverage.
Okay, so that means she doesn't have leverage.
He has the leverage because she's coming with the kids, right?
Yeah,
she's coming with the kids, right? You see, the thing is that now most men, well, some men, I would say some men are really in a way they're like, okay, you have kids, and if they're attracted to that woman and they have a chemistry with that woman, they'll take her on with the kids.
Yeah.
If they're older, depend on the age group too. Because when I was younger, and when I was in my 20s, I didn't want to date no woman with kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, why would you?
Yeah. I won't want to date with no woman with kids. Or if I was in my early 30s, I won't want to date no woman. I won't want to date no woman with, not really. You know what I'm saying? Because I could get a 29-year-old without. I could get a 29-year-old woman without kids. You know what I'm saying? So why would I want to date a woman with and deal with that drama at a young age? You know, take on the children. While I'm watching the children, I gotta deal with the baby father coming up with me, busting me head up.
Exactly.
All those, I don't want to deal with that. So, so the best thing for me to do is to get a woman without kids. But but the question was, does a man have leverage over a woman with kids? If a man have leverage over a woman with kids,
that's the other question. Does a single man with no kids have leverage over a woman with no kids? I mean, over a woman with kids.
I think he leverage, meaning that he has the options.
He has the options.
He has the options. Yeah, exactly. He has the options.
Okay.
She don't have the options, but he has the options.
Exactly. She don't have the same options that she would if she didn't have children.
Right, because because I mean, it's up to him. It's all this about decision making. Because if he want to take on her with her children, is up to him. But he could decide. No, I say he could decide and say, you know what? The baby father may be around. You know what? I don't want to deal with all this. I don't want no headaches in my life. Because remember, when you're a man and you won't have no kids, remember now you're dealing with a new kind of stress.
Yeah.
Now you're coming from a peaceful space.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna emphasize that too. A peaceful. Because women, when you're a man with no children and you're of age, you're coming from a peaceful stage.
Yeah.
Now you're meeting her and her children. Now the thing is, can you deal with the baby father and can you deal with her and her children? That's a question. Can you balance that out? Can you deal with that? Because you don't know what this man is capable of doing. You don't know. This is why a lot of men kind of shy away from, she got kids, or she got kids with two different baby daddies. They shy away from that. They shy away from that because they're like, dude could be dangerous. And I understand it's an uneasy feeling because I'm gonna be honest and I'm gonna be real with you. If I was a single guy, no, I'm not a single guy, but if I was a guy and I had a baby mother, I have baby mothers and I had my children around them, I really wouldn't want a man around my kids. That's just me. I wouldn't want that. So but you see, let me just address the men real quickly. Let me just address the men real quickly. When you do that, when you leave your baby mother, I know sometimes you don't get along and sometimes you don't really get along with the baby mother, but when you do that and you have still feelings for that woman, you leave that open.
Yep.
You leave her door open for another man to creep in.
Yeah.
When you say, okay, I don't no more, she give me attitude, but she's a member. She sacrificed to have kids for you. She sacrificed. She made that sacrifice in her body. Because remember, when a woman have children, her body is ravished, man. The body is not the same no more. Her body is not the same no more. Her body's not the same no more. So she sacrificed to have children for you, but you left. You stepped out. I'm addressing the men.
Yeah.
You stepped out. You step out and you say, I don't want to deal with her no more. I ain't want. I have kids with her, but I ain't want to deal with her no more. I ain't feeling. She got fat. She got too fat, and I ain't want to deal with her no more. So now you left that, and another guy might say, that's some. She's a cutie. She's chubby, but she's cute. She's chubby, but she's cute. And you say, okay. Now he's stepping there, and now you feeling the way because now this man, now he's trying to date the baby mother now, and now you see this man, around your kids, and you see this man, taking a liking to the kids, and he's hanging around the kids, and now you're getting vexed. You can't be partner. Buddy, you can't be vexed. Yeah. You can't be vexed over that because you're the one that left that door open.
Look.
So that's what I'm addressing. That's what I'm addressing the men with. You can't get vexed with that.
Yeah.
You can't get vexed with that, buddy. You can't get vexed with that.
Now,
what you're the one that left the door open.
Exactly. Now, what do you say about the woman that has who has children and says that she don't want a man with children, but she got kids her dang self?
Well, no, she being unfair now.
Thank you.
You see, the thing is, she being unfair now.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't tell me that this man is of age.
Mm-hmm.
He's in his 40s and he ain't gonna have no kids. Most men in their 40s have kids already.
Yeah.
Most men, black or white, Latino, Asian, have kids in their 40s already. Or you're married to have kids, or you have kids already. Yeah. You can't tell that man to say, "Well, I don't want to deal with you because you have kids and you have kids yourself." Or wait a minute, hold on. So I can say, "But you got kids. I can have kids of my own too." Mm-hmm. So what you want to do? You don't want to date me because I have kids, but you have kids too. Mm-hmm. You know, so that's unfair. Nah, man.
Yeah,
that's unfair. So listen, you're of age. Mm-hmm. You don't want no more kids, and I already have my kids. I already have kids too. I don't want no more kids either. Mm-hmm. But that's the situation. That's a situation that you both got to decide and say, listen, I have my own kids, but I don't want you to have. Come on, man. That's unrealistic.
Well, because I feel like a woman who has kids of herself is in no place to be making demands about having a man with no children of his own, and you got 2 or 3 kids your dang self. Now,
exactly.
Now you have situations where not every woman with kids gave birth to them. What do you say about the woman who is raising her niece or nephew? You know what I'm saying? That's different. That's different.
Raising her niece and nephew? Oh, yeah. Well, that's different. That's a different situation altogether because that she raising her. She living with the
she's raising a child because maybe a death in the family happened. They didn't want the kids to go into the system.
Yeah, same thing because you see the thing is that
because technically that's a woman with the kid, but there's technically no relationship that she directly had that caused that kid. So I think a man going into a situation like that is a little different. He don't have That's different. Yeah.
Yeah, it's different because you see, that's not her child. No, she didn't give birth to the child as her own.
Right.
No, she could turn around and she can have a kids for him now because you see the thing is she ain't have no, especially if she ain't have no kids, no little biological kids. She can turn around and she can still date him. Yeah. But she can still, she can same way she can still have to find babysitter when they won't go out on a date. You know.
Yeah.
She can still have to find babysitter because, but the thing is that she now is open. I guess she'll be open to having a child with him if that's the right man for her. If that's the man,
I know a woman that I used to work with like that, and God bless her. I admire her because I would have done the same thing. I would have if I was in a situation like that, even though I wasn't ready, even if I wasn't ready for children, I would have manned up and said, you know what, I can't have my niece or my nephew out there in the system. You know what I'm saying, with somebody else in a foster home, and I can't do that. That's not. We don't have that kind of family over here where we're just gonna let some blood go somewhere else. That's not gonna happen. So I think a man could approach that situation differently, and that would be respected. Now, single fathers who have custodies of their kids with dating. How do you view that? I mean, some women may say a single woman with no kids is going to be like, nah, I don't want to date that man. He got a whole bunch of children, and they live with him. See, a lot of times men have kids, they don't live with them. So they get to go off and kind of do what they want because the kid don't live there. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because I've heard women say, well, I don't want baby mama drama. Well, rightfully so. But most of the time the father don't have to find a babysitter if he don't have shared custody. Or if it's shared custody, then on the days he don't have the kid, he can go out and date. But if it's full custody, then he got the kids all the time.
Yes. In that situation now, as a man, especially if you ain't got custody of the kids, it's like you're single again.
Mm-hmm. I knew a situation like that.
Yeah.
And I knew a situation.
Yeah.
I knew a situation like that where a man had kids, and the woman that he wanted to be with didn't have any kids, but she took it on differently. You know, she ended up being with him, and, you know, they're now married now with their own kids added on to the kids that he already has. But, I mean, that's a rare occasion, because how many times fathers are going to have custodies of their kids? I won't get into the detail of that, but that's rare. You know what I'm saying? That's a rare occurrence. But you know what? I look at it like this, man. Now, in the dating game, have I come across women who have kids? Yeah, I've come across women who had 1 kid, 2 kids, 3 kids, the most, you know what I'm saying, personally. And, you know, I had to leave these women alone because I wasn't ready to. I'm not the type of man that'll get involved with a woman with children and then be out the woman's life after, and then you got kids, and because kids get attached to a man in the home, especially if they don't have a man in the home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If a new man comes into the home, I tell men all the time, if you don't want to date a woman with kids, just leave her alone. Because a lot of times men feel like, well, if she got kids, then it's easier for me to get the butt. a lot of men feel like that because they see 2 kids. They're like, oh, well, she done gave it up at least twice I know of because she got 2 kids, especially if it's a single mother who has multiple kids by multiple men. I mean, you got women out there who got 4 kids with 3 guys. So guy number 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 feel like, oh, well, guy number 1, 2, and 3 got kids with her. So, you know, shoot, I'm going to go ahead and get what I got to get and get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't but I ain't gonna get her pregnant because I don't want kids with her. But I feel like I could get it because, you know, I think she easy. A lot of men think women are easy who got kids.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
I mean, there are women who are easy without kids, but when you see the kids, that's evidence.
Yeah, evidence. That's evidence for them because they feel that, well...
It's evidence for that. It's evidence for that mindset. I mean, I don't want to say it's evidence that she's a hoe. That's wrong. That's error. That's fully wrong. I'm saying that to them, it's evidence for perception.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. Because you know, and that's what it is. You look at a woman, you say, oh, she got a lot of kids and everything. Or she's still looking, oh, wow, although she got a lot of kids, she's still looking sexy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could get that. And guys in their mind, they think that I could get that. And they're realizing that, wow, it's not that easy. Mm-hmm. Because let me tell you something. Baby fathers have access to her automatically.
Because of the kids.
Because of the kids.
Yeah.
You'll be pushed aside. And you'll be ostracized. Not only say ostracized, but you'll be pushed aside easy because she has an attachment to that man, or she has an attachment to them men. Yeah,
kids always come first in this sense.
Yeah.
So the man or the woman in a relationship with a person with kids, full custody or whatever the situation I explained, will never be first.
And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this one thing too.
Well, they'll never be priority. That's what I mean. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this one thing. This is the same topic, but I'm gonna say this one thing.
Right.
Is and young guys that don't have kids yet.
Yeah.
That's thinking about dating a woman with a kid. Remember this and remember what I say this night. It's easier, or this day, wherever you're listening, it's easier for a man to have a child with that same woman that you're trying to get with to get back with her. Because remember, it's easier I'm going to repeat myself again. It's easier for a man to have a child with that woman, that the woman that you're thinking about getting with, that has a child, it's easier for that man to have a child with that woman to get in every way, get back with that woman. What I mean to say is get back with that woman. Oh, he can easily sleep with her because remember they have a bond, and he knows her body already. So they have it's a bond that can't be broken. The child is the bond that can't be broken. Yeah. Remember they share something that's God's gift already, and that's a child. You know what I'm saying? So it's easier for that unless he do something really evil and cruel and she don't want him no more. And I'm gonna say it's easier for him to get back with her than you to get with her. It's easier for her baby father to get with her than you to get with her. It's easier. Why? Because they already have a bond, and they already have the. Remember, she has a soft spot for her baby father. Most women that have baby fathers have somewhat of a soft spot for their baby father because remember they share something. Remember, she sacrificed her body for him to bore his child. So it's gonna always be no matter how length the time it is, no matter how long it is, she's gonna always have a soft spot for that baby father. Because that's her son or daughter's father. So she's gonna always have a soft spot. So if you're thinking about dating a woman that have children, or have children, or have one or two kids, just remember that. And if baby father's around, just remember that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, look. Now, let me just say this. I don't want to make it seem like there's no hope for men and women in this situation. I'm just saying that these are the things that men and women in this world are dealing with when it comes to the dating game. There are men and women out there with children. So we're basically, being specific to this topic or those category of people. But I just felt like, in my opinion, if you have kids, then your options change. So the window of what you probably want is probably a little, it's cracked a little. Like if you don't have any kids, you have a open window. If you got kids, then you might want to have to close that window a little bit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, not completely closed, but close it half shut. You know what I mean? So, just enough to get a breeze through. You know what I mean? You still gonna have your pick of the litter, but the litter that you pick from is gonna be different. You know what I'm saying? But there's still hope for that. But I feel like when you got kids, you know what kind of demands, your demands or whatever that you feel that you can make and requirements might be it's not gonna be the same when you were single. It's just how it is. But I know the struggle also is for a woman who could trust, because a lot of women get with these men, and you hear some sad stories about boyfriend or raped daughter and stuff like that. I know you hear stuff like that. You see it in the news all the time.
Yeah.
So women should be careful of the man. Some women, not all, but you got some women out there that haven't had a man in so long that they want a man so bad that the very thing that they want from him, they're getting well, but then they're overlooking some red flags. It's disguising it. And then you got some things going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that happens in the dating world, even with, when you got kids or whether you don't have kids. You got women out here who do the biological clock thing, right? That's another story, but I'll mention it real quick because I mentioned it. They'll say, yo, I'm not getting any younger. So the next man who comes in my life, that's the man, if he, I guess, fits some of her points, that's the man she's going to marry. But a woman like that has to ask herself, well, does she really want to marry that man? Is that the man that she actually wants to marry? Or she feels she want to marry that man because her options are slim and she don't want to put herself in the dating world again and then wake up years later and then she's 50, single with no family still. Right, so no matter what position you are and situation you're in your life, don't ever be desperate. Being desperate can put you in a situation that you're desperate to get out of. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I think you got to repeat that one more time.
People who are desperate to get in a situation so bad, once the situation arrives, they'll be desperate to get out of it.
That's right. Infatuation.
So never be desperate because of something you want so bad. You still need to be mindful and watchful, and you got to live with the idea that what you feel what you feel in your heart of hearts that you maybe think can't happen won't happen at all, and it's all right. You got to live your life. You're still going to be fine. What's the worst that's going to happen to you? You're just going to be single again? Well, at least you have your sanity.
you gotta be happy with yourself.
You do.
You gotta be happy with yourself. You gotta be in peace with yourself, and you gotta be happy with yourself.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that when you're desperate, sometimes it's, and when you're longing for a man and you have children, you're a woman out there, you got your kids, the father of the children is no longer in your life, and you're dying for a date, you're dying for a man. No, there's nothing wrong with needing and wanting companionship. Nothing wrong with that. But once you are desperate and you don't do your homework on that man, it can be detrimental for your house. There's many stories like where a woman, she look at the show called, series called, have you ever seen it? It's Fatal Attraction. There's many times where a woman would date a man. Yeah. She got children already.
Right.
From previous last relationship, she had children, and all of a sudden now she's lonely. She wants a man. She bring the man into the house with the kids, and something happened with the kids.
See?
Something happened to the kids.
See?
So women, this is for the women. Don't be so desperate. If you're gonna date a guy and you have children, don't be so quick to let him in.
Yeah.
Do your homework.
Yeah.
Don't be so quick to let this man in. Yeah. Do your homework.
Yeah.
Because you see, the thing is, you don't want harm to your kids. You don't want harm happening to your kids. You love your children. Your kids are very precious to you. You don't want to bring a strange man to your children's house, and you're so in need of a man that you neglect your kids and you ignore certain signs. He's making you feel good and you ignore certain signs. Oh, because you're desperate to be in companionship. You're desperate for a man. Don't do it. Always do your homework on somebody. Don't be so quick to I'm gonna just bring him in my house and he's gonna be a man of my dreams and he's gonna be good with my kids. Not so.
Well, because
do your homework.
Well, because you got some men and some women who are so yearning and longing for something, whether it be because they're desperate, their heart is in the wrong place, or it's lust. They just don't want to go to bed alone. So they'll just have any man, any woman in their home.
Yeah, they get tired of holding themselves.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? But sometimes you gotta sit back, man, and man.
Yeah.
And just be happy be happy. Learn to enjoy being happy.
Right.
And the happiness within. That's what you gotta learn. Learn to be happy within, and learn to just be in peace with yourself. Don't be in need of that. And sometimes when you're desperate, sometimes, and you're so eager, sometimes whatever's knocking at your door, like the devil could come in. And whoever's listening to this, I want them to get this message. The devil could come into your house and you wouldn't.
The Bible says that he comes in the form of an angel of light. So, that's the deception. That's the deception. Yeah.
You can't just let a man with a nice smile come into your house and then he's around your kids. That's it's so much stories you hear. It's so many stories you hear of.
I hate hearing
dangerous.
Them, man. You got a whole you got a whole show dedicated to stuff like this, man. You got shows like Special Victims Unit and other TV shows and movies that you got these subjects, man.
Yeah, you got shows like Fatal Attraction. You got shows like what you call it? There's another show like
there's several
that too,
of
like
them, man. There's several crime shows.
Of them, yeah.
What's that?
Yeah.
What's that show? There's a channel that got all that stuff on there. You know what I mean? But
I have another show called For My Man.
For My Man. Yeah, that's on TV1, right?
TV1, For My Man. You know. But these women are look. If you look at that series, I stopped looking at the series because it make me cringe. If you look at that series, that series deals with all of that. That series, that series deals with all of that, man. Yeah, For My Man, these women will do anything for their men.
Yeah,
anything.
Yeah, and guess what? They'll even kill their own mother.
Yes, and these is all true stories. Nothing reality about this. This is all true stories. True stories. Yeah. Events that happened in the past. True stories. Yeah. So. You just gotta be careful. Don't you be the victim of For My Man or Fatal Attraction. Don't do it. And not worry your kids' well-being. Don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I'm glad I was able to warn, and glad to be able to have this topic and
warn,
and share this topic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
So we did things a little different here. I think people were probably expecting that we were gonna bash single mothers with kids. It's not about bashing anybody. It's about talking about the things that people actually have involved in their lives and what they're going through. I mean, now the next subject, that we have coming down the pipeline is, dating an older woman. That's another topic coming up. Women who actually get a good man, but they nitpick at everything that he don't do right, and totally disregard the things that he does do right because he's good, but just not good enough for them. So we're gonna talk about that. People might feel uncomfortable about that show. You know what I'm saying? But I don't care. It's whatever.
Yeah,
we're gonna get up out of here. Zacchaeus, let them know where to reach you, your social media websites, what's going on.
Yeah, you can reach me on Instagram on ZacchaeusB73 on Instagram. ZacchaeusB73 on Instagram. Also on Facebook. Wayne Zacchaeus Bacchus on Facebook. Or Wayne Bacchus on Facebook. Or you can reach me at Twitter at Wayne Bacchus 2 on Twitter. You can reach me there too. Yeah.
All right, y'all can reach me at The Fifth General on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. At The Fifth General, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All right, this was another episode of Mrs. Z and Fifth. Signing off. We'll see you next time. Peace.